What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we're going to be doing a little bit of a history lesson in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So lads, we're doing the retro players. We are going to be talking about where they were in their actual we're talking where they were in their actual games and what the type of players they were and why exactly they're iconic enough to have been given retro cards. So first of all is Kobe Bryant. So unfortunately with these type of things, we have got 2K Empty Central, where it used to show all these players, has pretty much gone down. Like the old things, it's very, very hard to find the old players, and I can't find the stats for any of them, which is a little bit annoying. Either way, this card was a beast. So Kobe Bryant, if you guys don't remember this card here, he was part of the high scorers set, as far as I'm aware, which had like a Ruby Froby. It had a Ruby Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure it had a Ruby Dirk Nowitzki as well. And that set was like the first really hyped set in 2K15. And it was actually, 2K15 was the first year of promo, so it was the first really hyped promo in MyTEAM history. This card was, after Jordan, the most hyped player in that promo. Back then, you never saw the overall on cards. So Ruby didn't mean that he was an 89 overall. Ruby just meant that he was a promo card. He was like a 93 or 94 overall. He was dominant. He was dunking on everybody. This was like pre-Zach LaVine patch, and he was blowing by everybody, dunking on everybody in game. This card here he was like an iconic early game player in 2K15. And a lot of people probably don't remember this card, even people that came late in the game 2K15, because at the time he ended up being really expensive despite being not spectacular. So unless you were there early days 2K15, you probably don't remember just how much of a beast this Kobe Bryant card was, especially because Ruby cards weren't based on overalls. Like in 2K15, we had 98 overall gold cards, but yet we had emerald cards that were like 670 overall, 60 overall. So basically, Kobe Bryant was so good, so iconic. If you were there in 2K15, you know how iconic this card is. And then we have got Bonga. This was one of the most iconic bronze players because he was a bronze. He was the lowest overall player in the game. There was nobody else in the game that was within like 2 ratings of him. He was the lowest overall by a good bit. But he was a 6'8" or 6'9" point guard. Like, it was crazy. I'm pretty sure he was 6'9", if I'm not mistaken, in that game. I need to actually check that. I'm going to check it right now. Players, all players, sorted by 19. Point guards sorted by height. So he was 2K, by the way, if you're still in here. Bonga was 6'9" in 2K19. He was 6'9". You've made him 6'8" in this game, so can you please make it accurate? I know you changed it with Jonathan Isaac. I know you did change it with Jonathan Isaac, so make it a little bit more accurate. But this Bonga card back in 2K19 was like the really, really iconic bronze card. It was the card that like almost a meme card. Troy Dan used to made a video on him. I made a video on him. I think Naro made a video that got a couple 100,000 views on him. And then he got a pink diamond card later on the year, which is a beast. But bronze Bonga was such an iconic card. He was such an iconic card in that game. If you don't remember, if you were there in 19, which a lot of people were, they remember. So now we have got the final member of the Holy Trinity of Rubies. So the Holy Trinity of Rubies was a group of players that I used to talk about from 2K19. It involved Thon Maker, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Bamba. These were 3 Ruby cards that people were running against God Squads, and they were competing. Late on in the year, they were the best 3 by a mile. And we actually have all 3 of them now in 2K21, sorry, because basically, but we got 18 Jonathan Isaac, but we got Mo Bamba and we got Thon Maker. So we have the 3 iconic Rubies from 2K19 MyTEAM as well. But Mo Bamba, literally, he was one of the best centers in the game in 19. Because it was back before really anyone used range, or there was any... Well, when he came out, there was no real god tier centers. His jumper was so easy. Like, everyone was greening with him. He has he had like the longest wingspan in the game. It was before we even knew about SIGs and stuff, but Mo Bamba was so good in that game. He was so good in that game. And yeah, that is the history of Mo Bamba. So, Glenn Robinson III. This card, he won the dunk contest. He won the dunk contest that year, so that's where he got this card from. But all I'm going to say is, this card had the worst release in NBA 2K17, and it's not even close. He was not, like, his release was broken. And that's why I was kind of worried about Glenn Robinson, because his release was broken in 2K18. His release was broken in 2K17. I remember playing against him. I never used him, because I remember he had one of the worst releases in the game. Yeah, he had good speed, he had good dunk, but this guy was useless in game. Like, he was iconic for having some of the best stats in the game, but being broken, being simultaneously broken, which was kind of crazy. Like, he had, again, a lot of good things going for him. I actually think he's probably gonna be better this year than he was in 2K17, because he can Curry slide and stuff. But yeah, he's not an iconic card. He's not an iconic card. And now we have got one of the most iconic cards in the game, Bryant Scalabrine. So let's go back 5 years. Let's go back over 5 years. September of 2015. A young 18-year-old DBG was starting off his YouTube channel and saw a video from the great Nick the Bulls fan talking about a 500k MT hidden Bryant Scalabrine. But I looked everywhere in the auction house. I couldn't find him. You know how you got this Bryant Scalabrine? The black market. And I'm not even kidding. He was in the black market. And how you entered the black market, you found runes on your cards. You know the way you can, like, tilt cards around? Like, people used to, like, tilt cards around, and sometimes something would just pop up on their card. And if you got a certain amount of runes, you could type in a code that let you enter the black market and get this card. I am not even kidding. Anyone who was there at that time will remember that exactly what I'm saying is real. It doesn't sound real. It does not sound real if you're talking about it in 2K21. You had to shift around a card when you pressed L3 to zoom in, or 3 to zoom in. You moved around the card and something like a symbol would flash up on the card. If you got enough symbols, you typed in a code that let you enter a black market to pay 500k for this Bryant Scalabrine. This card was so iconic. There was a Bryant Scalabrine and there was a Steve Nash card in the black market. There was actually a black market in 2K17 as well, but it was just to give you normal packs. But there was nothing to do with runes in 2K17. The black market in 2K17 was you literally sat in the pack screen for a half an hour without touching anything, and the black market would show up. But yeah, remember the retro game where you waited like an hour and a half in the pack market? And he was a half an hour in the pack market for 2K17 for the black market. But yeah, this was a black market card. So many of you guys were probably not playing my team back then, but this card, for anyone who was, just like how iconic the Kobe was, this card is iconic. Then we have got Rodman. So Rodman, this card was a lot better in 2K17 than he is right now, by the way, in 2K21. But this Rodman card, basically 2K used to do like event cards. So 2K used to have a promo every 2 weeks. We didn't get like 3 promos a week. We got moments cards, we got event cards, and we got event cards for like St. Patrick's Day. And then we get like a random event card at a different time. Event cards came out every now and again. And then it was like St. Patrick's Day. This was the Easter card. So basically, as like the hint for this card, 2K tweeted out a picture of like a pink diamond Easter egg. But the Easter egg looked like had like the pattern of Dennis Rodman's hair. But this was like Easter Dennis Rodman. This card here was the best defensive player in the game at the time, and he could actually shoot the ball quite well. This Rodman for like 20k was unbelievable in that game. But again, I don't see him being great in this game. But he is iconic, and he's here for a reason. We got break the game MVP Steph Curry. This is like a common misconception is that this was break the game Curry. If I break the game was nothing to do with my team. It was basically a play now thing where 2K for one day only gave Steph Curry this like ridiculous 3-point rating where he could shoot 3-pointers from like beyond the halfway line. This is nothing to do with break the game Steph Curry. But Curry was so good in 2K16 that people just refer to Steph Curry as break the game Steph Curry because he was just that good. Basically, range extender gold in 2K16 was more OP than Hall of Fame range extender in 2K21 next gen. People were literally shooting halfway line if you had range extender on gold. Curry also had an unblockable layup. If Curry triggered a layup animation, it was unblockable. He'd throw it a million feet in the air and it was completely unblockable. So Steph Curry was just this god tier card. He's the best player in that game. So that is why this card is great. Although I will say that very few people use this specific Steph Curry. This specific Steph Curry was very rarely used because this is the 2-time MVP Steph Curry, who was a 99 overall. There was actually a 95 overall amethyst Steph Curry. That was just a normal MVP Steph. That was almost as good. They were basically the same card. And then there was even the regular roster Steph Curry that a bunch of people use, 93 overall. I think I used that Steph. That was very similar. Like, that was crazy. And yeah, the most iconic thing about Steph Curry in 2K16, it wasn't even anything to do with my team. It was when they basically made his 3-pointer 150 rated and it could go in from everywhere. I think they juiced up the sliders on Steph Curry so that he hit every 3-point shot. But that was only for one day, and that day is so iconic that people believe that Steph Curry was break the game Steph. But this Steph Curry, all Steph Currys in the Gauntlet, which was like TTO back then, all the Steph Currys could shoot from past the halfway line. It was the most ridiculous thing. Like, people think 2K21. People think 2K21 Steph Curry on next gen is OP. They never faced any version of Steph Curry. Any version of Steph Curry in 2K16. Although the funny thing is that this was actually a 99 overall. By the way, this was actually a 99 overall. Then we got Lonzo Ball. The legend of the Lonzo Ball locker code. So basically, this was a limited time locker code, but like everybody got him. He was limited time for like 3 hours. Like everybody got him. But if you guys don't remember the voting, so there was like a competition in 2K17. They had a competition where Dwayne Wade won it, and it was like voting your way through a certain card for a pink diamond. And Lonzo Ball versus Derrick Rose was the final. So this was 99 overall Lonzo Ball. And it was a voting between Lonzo Ball and Derrick Rose. And it was a Twitter poll. 2K announced that Lonzo Ball was the winner. March Madness. Yeah, it was March Madness locker code. They announced Lonzo Ball was the winner 2 hours before the poll ended. Because Lonzo Ball had like 54% of the votes versus 46% for Derrick Rose. But then, as soon as they announced it, everyone started voting for Derrick Rose. And in the end, when the poll actually ended, Derrick Rose won. Lonzo wasn't even the winner, but they still gave us Lonzo. Lonzo didn't even win. It was so heated. It was so heated because Lonzo didn't actually win. 2K just prematurely announced the winner, and then people just started spam voting for Derrick Rose, and Lonzo didn't even win. In the end, we got the Derrick Rose card in we got him right before the draft, but it was hilarious. Like, 2K literally prematurely announced the winner, and everybody started spamming for Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose ended up winning on 51% when it was all said and done. It was one of the funniest things in 2K history. Like, this guy was alright, everyone had him, and still people going crazy about getting Derrick Rose. Giannis Antetokounmpo, not much to say about this card. He was everyone's point guard in 2K19. That's all I can say. There was no position lock 2K19. Everyone playing point guard. He had one of the worst releases in the game, but he had the best Euro step in the game. People used to point guard Giannis, 5-out Euro step dunk. That was it. That was literally it. That was how people played 2K19. A bunch of people used this guy until the opal Giannis came out, but I mean, this guy was just god tier. It was just 5-out Euro step with Giannis. Oh yeah, you're right. Someone in my chat said Giannis cross. 5-out Giannis cross into a Euro step. If anyone was in the like couple of hundred people that used to watch Ty play back then, if anyone remembers Ty Debo, it wasn't with this Giannis card, it was with the opal Giannis. If anyone remembers what Ty used to do with that Giannis card, like, you could give Ty 4 bronzes and any version of Giannis, and he'd still, back in 2K19, he would still beat everybody because nobody was able to guard the Giannis cross over the halfway line Euro step dunk or Euro step layup. Giannis's animations in 2K19 were the best animations of any card in history. However, this Giannis had a really slow jump shot, thankfully, and couldn't really shoot the ball. So it's not like he was the worst card in the game, or it's not like he was the best card in the game, but the opal Giannis is one of the best cards in history. This Giannis was definitely a little bit of a weak shooter, but still. Giannis's animations in 19, unfortunately, we'll never get them the same, but Giannis was just unguardable in that game. Like, you could literally score every point with Giannis and win most games. And this Michael Jordan card, so there were only 23 of this card. This was a GOAT card. This was a 99 in every single stat card. They used to have like signature series in 2K19, and when it was signature series, they used to give a bunch of versions of the same player. So like if we had signature series like Jordan, we got an amethyst Jordan, we got a diamond Jordan, we got a pink diamond Jordan, we got an opal Jordan, and then we got this other opal signature limited Jordan. So this signature limited Jordan was the 99 every stat. He was 1 of 23. People saying he was 1 of 299. No, he was 1 of 23. He was 1 of 23. So he was super rare. There are only 23 of them. The other opal Jordan I didn't particularly like. This opal Jordan was unbelievable though. This opal Jordan was ridiculous. He could fade, he could get range extender. And he had 34 half badge, which at the time was crazy. And yeah, this card was a super, super rare card. Only 23 of them. And in the end, he ended up being a token card for like 70 and 50 tokens. And he was just crazy. Again, there was only 3 GO cards in 2K19, like. But yeah, he was really, really good. So yeah, lads, the history lesson is done. And for anyone who thinks limited cards were a good concept, I'm telling you they weren't. I am telling you they weren't. So I'm putting my teaching degree to use. I am putting my teaching degree to use by teaching you guys about the history of MyTEAM cards. I may have been a maths teacher. I also may have I may be a qualified maths teacher, not a history teacher, but I guess me being a teacher has gotten some use teaching history of 2K. Oh man. Imagine going to college to study maths and in the end, you're just teaching people about 2K. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. That is pretty much it for the history lesson. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.